Okay, so today we're just going to talk briefly about chain tension on our VentMaster chainsaw. As you can see down here, our chain is loose, right? If our chain is too loose or too tight, it won't cut appropriately, and we run the risk of throwing the chain off the bar altogether. So we need to make sure we know how to adjust it. So first we'll go over what to do if it's too loose. Just like our rotary saw, we have two retaining nuts here. Our first step is to loosen those retaining nuts, and they don't need to be all the way loose, but just a couple of turns, right? You'll see on this saw we have an adjustment screw right here. If I turn this to the right, it's going to tighten up my chain. If I turn it to the left, it's going to loosen it up. Some saws have the adjustment screw in a different position, sometimes here. So you just need to be aware of where yours is. Okay, so I've loosened my retaining nuts, and now I'm ready to tighten my chain. But before I do that, I'm going to grab hold to the top of my chain, and I'm going to get all of the guide teeth inside of the bar. Right, so I've got all my slack on one side of the chain. So as I tighten, you can see that the chain slowly draws into the groove on the bar. Right, you can see now that all the guide teeth are inside the bar. I can also, with the chain brake off, just make sure that the chain rotates easily. Right? So for my initial setting, I'm good here. The next thing I'm going to do is tighten the retaining nuts, and then I'm going to check my chain tension. Retaining nuts are tight. When I want to check my chain tension, I lift up on the chain on the top of the bar. If I can pull more than one guide tooth out of the bar easily, then my chain is too loose. This chain is slightly too loose, right? So that's my first verification. That's why I do that. So I'm going to make an adjustment, a minor adjustment. I'm going to back off of the retaining nuts, and I'm just going to give it about another quarter turn or so on the adjustment screw. Feel it draw in just a little bit more. Then I'm going to tighten my retaining nuts, and I'm going to verify again. Grab the top of the chain, lift it up, and I can't easily pull more than one drive tooth out from the bar. Now I'm ready to check my saw. So my chain tension can't be truly verified until I run the saw at its operating temperature and run my blade through a material. So I can just find a log laying around the station, bury it into the intended material, and then make any final adjustments after I've done that. Now, if a chain is too tight, and I'll demonstrate what that is, you'll probably notice reduced performance. It'll probably be smoking, not cutting as well, and you'll hear kind of a high-pitched sound on the chain of the metal to metal. And what that is the metal from the draw teeth pulled down too tight onto the bar as it rotates around. So how do I know when a chain's too tight? I can't pull a tooth out at all. It's probably difficult to make the chain rotate around the bar manually with the chain brake off. So I'll probably see some reduced performance here. So if I have a chain that's too tight, the process is the opposite here. I loosen my retaining nuts, and I back off probably a quarter turn at a time on the adjustment screw, feeling my chain and verifying. Then I'll tighten it up, and same process. I'll run the saw up to temperature and then bury it into its intended material and see how it performs. The important thing here with both the chainsaw and the rotary saw is that your belt or chain tension is not verified until you've run the saw, until you've tested it on a material.